Hey everyone! Making a proper detailed guide for Sanity's Edge hard mode will take me some time, so I thought I would make a very quick guide that goes over the most important mechanics, so you can clear the veteran non-hard mode difficulty in the meantime. Let's go then. The first boss is Exarchanist Yaseyla. The main tank will be holding her, and the off tank will be holding Wamasus that spawn at certain HP thresholds. Face Yaseyla away from the group to avoid cleave damage from Hamstring Strike. Yaseyla's attacks apply Hemorrhage, a dot dealing Oblivion damage based on your max HP. It bypasses damage shields and cannot be mitigated by anything, so bring a lot of healing. It's very dangerous after her heavy attack, as it applies a healing absorb effect. Every 25 seconds Yaseyla throws firebombs that create an area of effect. Stepping into it applies a dot that spreads to nearby allies. After 25% HP, firebombs occur every 11 seconds, turning it into a DPS race as you run out of space. Every 40 seconds Yaseyla throws a frost bomb at the closest person, excluding the main tank. Off tank has to avoid being targeted, as frozen person has to be out-healed to be freed. From 50% HP, Yaseyla throws 2 frost bombs each time. At certain HP thresholds, Yaseyla spawns archers that channel an insta-kill ability. Chain and interrupt them. Enraged archers cannot be chained until a damage dealer kills their shade in a portal. A ghost will circle around each of these shades, and touching these will stun you. Yaseyla occasionally attaches a chain to 3 people. Break free within 3 seconds to avoid being pulled in. As for Wamasus, their primary threat is the charge ability, targeting a single player and killing everyone in their path. You can dodge roll it, but if you're unlucky you can get chained by the main boss at the same time, so it's better to simply walk away. Wamasus also have a long channeled Conal Lightning Breath attack and a heavy attack. Next encounter is Archwizard Twelvane and Chimera. In the first phase you'll face Twelvane alone. The most important mechanic here are the lightning circles. They will follow the person closest to them. If you stay inside, the damage ramps up quickly, so make sure to avoid them. Once Twelvane is defeated, each player will be assigned a constellation. Look for the portal that matches the constellation above your head and step on it. You have a limited amount of time for that. This will teleport you to a room with an invulnerable Twelvane and 4 pedestals with crystals. Shortly after you enter the room, these crystals will light up in an order. After that, they will go down and then up again, and they'll become targetable. You have to attack them in the same order they went up at the beginning. It's not really a tank's job, since DDs have nothing to do in those rooms, but you should know how it works anyway. After completing all the rooms, Chimera will spawn near the teleport path of the last room you finished. The Chimera fight revolves around conserving space. Keep an eye out for 2 specific attacks. First, Arctic Shred will place an AoE that increases the damage you take. Second, Inferno will cause meteors to drop on everyone's position. You'll need to find a balance between dropping new AoEs on top of old AoEs and avoiding excessive damage. During this phase, 3 mini-bosses will appear: Lion, Griffon and Wamasu. The off-tank has to taunt these mini-bosses and keep them away from the group. Be careful not to let them die too soon. After some time, Chimera will teleport away and you'll need to complete the puzzle phase again. To do this, you must kill these mini-bosses. Wamasu's death grants the Wamasu constellation to the 4 closest players, Lion grants the Lion constellation, and so on. Once you've completed the puzzle, the Chimera phase repeats. Keep going until you defeat the Chimera. Let's talk about the final boss, Ansuul the Tormentor. Here are the most important mechanics you need to know. Ansuul's rank ability spawns big lightning AoEs on players, which explode after a moment, stunning everyone inside for 2 seconds, and you cannot break free from that stun. You can dodge roll the explosion. The explosion also creates a memory fragment that the main tank should chain in. Watch out for Ansuul's Conal heavy attack, Calamity. Keep her turned away from the group. It's usually not too dangerous, but be cautious when the heavy attack happens during rack, as you could get stunned right before it hits you. At 90, 70, 50 and 30% of HP, Ansuul banishes the player who has her taunted. To handle this, have a healer taunt Ansuul shortly before this happens. The healer will get banished to the furthest corner, and an Essence Manifestation ad will spawn on top of them. The healer has to bring that ad to the middle, so the main tank can taunt it and it can be cleaved down. The banished person cannot get too close to Ansuul or they will die. At 80, 60 and 40% HP, Ansuul will teleport away and create one of 3 types of mazes. Fire is straightforward. The traveling AoEs apply a spreading dot, but it deals very little damage. In the poison maze, the AoEs don't move but sometimes grow in size. Stepping on a poison AoE with a visible indicator slows you down. In the lightning maze, walking into an AoE stuns you for 3 seconds, and you cannot break free. After you walk into the AoE, it stops moving. At the end of the maze you'll find a portal to a side area. Send an off-tank with 3 damage dealers to deal with a mini-boss. Only these 4 people need to do the maze. The rest of the group can wait at the beginning. Inside of the portal, the off-tank will have to tank Warlock Vanton, who has mechanics depending on the type of maze you just completed. These mechanics basically boil down to blocking heavy attacks and interrupting. After completing the maze, Ansuul gains a new power based on the maze's type. After the fire maze, immovable fire Archanax spawn on arena's edges. Assign someone to interrupt them. After the poison maze, Ansuul starts casting Poison Mind. It places an AoE on someone that deals massive damage that can be soaked up by others, so other group members need to stand in that AoE. After the lightning maze, Ansuul starts spawning Anxiety's Grip on the ground, which are mines that explode when stepped on. Tanks should try to soak them up as much as possible. Ansuul also has a short, interruptible channel called Execute, which targets a random member and instantly kills them if not interrupted. At 20% HP, Ansuul splits into 3 clones: Fire, Shock and Poison. The main tank taunts the Fire clone, which is a melee one, and the off-tank taunts Shock and Poison, which are ranged. The ranged clones will try to escape if the person tanking them gets too close, so the off-tank needs to stack them in the middle by dragging them. After the clones are dead, the real Ansuul will come back. She will immediately cast Manic Phobia, so a healer has to taunt her immediately. After the healer gets banished, the off-tank will taunt the main boss. In this execute phase, she'll cast Manic Phobia every 20 seconds. So with the healer, off-tank and the main tank getting banished, you should have about 40 seconds to finish off Ansuul's last 20% of HP, assuming none of the essence manifestations die in the cliff in the meantime. In this execute phase, she will cast all mechanics more frequently. And that's it. I hope it helps you clear Veteran Sanity's Edge. Thanks for watching and see you next time.